So whose problem is it? You saw this earlier. Microsoft provides us the platform. They have a platform that's NIST 800-53 compliant, GCC High and Azure Gov, up until the server network. Above that's up to us, right? So the data and the services above that are up to us. Microsoft's saying we'll give you a platform. We check half your boxes. It's like 54%. We check half of your 800-171 boxes, close to CMMC, not quite half. So it's going to be it is going to help you a lot. But then the data governance is completely on us, and Microsoft does not take any responsibility for that. So where is your data? Look, this is something I show because I'll say, do you know where all of your data is? Now, so I have some customers who have said yes. We do a deep dive. At the end of the first day, they say no. Their data is going out all kinds of places. Box, Dropbox. Gmail's a big one for us. I mean, we see Gmail used all the time to pass it because our email system's blocking it, our size, so we're just going to use Gmail. When we move into AIP technology, no matter where that document is, it's still protected. Big. Let me slow down. Let me say this again. AIP phones home. I call it ET technology. When you open a file, it phones home and says, it looks at your security and your Azure AD or the guest you've invited. Every time you open that file, it says who has permissions. So if a user emails an AIP protected file out of your organization to someone, they can't open it anyway. It's AES 256 encrypted. It's not simple to hack. It would basically take a government. It's secure. It has security, will travel. Think about AIP as a document with a little briefcase, has security on the side, and it's going on trips. What's important about this is even if I send it to you, I could technically still control the security while it's on your file share, your SharePoint Online. You could always, now we also do a decrypt and encrypt email, and you label it on your end. It would depend on the maturity of the supply chain beneath me, right? All right, 101, we talk about data compliance. We hear DLP, data loss prevention. If you're not using DLP in 365, do it now. It's one of the #1 things you can do. So people say, what's the difference in enabling data loss prevention versus Azure Information Protection? Well, DLP is like a boundary around your email or around your SharePoint Online. It's when you let your dog out in the backyard, you close the door and you let them, they're safe because they're inside of that boundary. Now, they can do whatever they want, and you know dogs, they will. They'll chew up anything in that backyard. But they can't leave that boundary. AIP is more like the collar on your dog. And the label, remember, CMMC over and over again through 800-171 says you have to mark data. It's critical. So that leash, it's got their name, and it's labeled, and it goes with that dog. Now, you can put that dog with the collar in the backyard. That's what we want. We want to protect the dog, and we want to protect the fence. Here are some really common requirements that drive data protection. So this is what I'm hearing from clients. You know, I've done over 100 of these, GCC High. So they say, this is what we hear over and over again. We need to be able to control a document and limit its permissions when it leaves our company. We need to manage people who have access to it. A big one, we need to consistently label docs with the appropriate classification. I'll dive into that in a moment. We want to control who can use labels. Number 7, EMSE 5. I'm not here to sell a license, but if you have an EMSE 5, you get auto classification, and it's not bad. Based on word match or a regex, right? So who knows regex? Wow, actually, that's a few people. I don't know regex, but I have developers that know regex, so I tell them what I need, and they give me regex back. I was doing this at a Microsoft conference, and the developer, he said, if you have a problem that requires regex, you have 2 problems. But it's doable. Worst case, you hire a dev for a day, and they'll figure out. And what it does is allow us to look inside of documents based on any number of patterns and auto-classify it. What's on Microsoft's roadmap? They just released it Friday. Is it's going to be a trainable classifier. Say that again. It's called a trainable classifier. By the middle of this year, I don't know that, I'm guessing, we're going to be able to take 100 seed documents, say your contracts or your SOWs, feed it into an engine, it's going to learn the type of document. See, people, this is the holy grail of data management. We're going to be able to start feeding seed docs. 365 is going to start automatically labels, and if that label says ITAR, automatically encrypt it to an audience. We're not even touching it.